Hey everybody, welcome to Freedom Path Investor Podcast numero cinco. Right now you might be able to tell we're in a slightly different location. That's because we are in Destin, Florida. We got the bay behind us and it is gorgeous outside. So we just got done shooting our podcast where we talked about a lot of amazing things because we're just got done with a mastermind with Chris Rood. So number one thing we talked about in this podcast was the idea of mastermind, what that is and why it's important.
Right. So the common theme it kept coming back to was mindset. Is fear holding you back from living your full potential? Well, we're in a room of high-level thinking people, and that is not a common objection for anybody. So you've got to get over your fears and live your full potential. Investing is 80% mindset, and the other 20% is strategy and tactics and everything. So we're going to dive into that today. It was the common theme every speaker kept coming back to. So you're going to stick around because we also dropped some secrets that we just learned from some of the top performers in our industry. And we're going to share that with you today. So check it out.
All right, stay tuned, guys.
What's up, guys? Brian Johnson.
Jake LaRose.
We are the Freedom Path Investors.
We are.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
we are a real estate business out of St. Louis, Missouri. And today we're not in St. Louis. We are in beautiful, sunny Destin, Florida.
Yep. Looking outside the balcony right over here is the ocean, actually the bay side.
The bay side.
And
see some jet skiers, hear the birds.
nice scenery, a golf course. And why are we here?
Well, we're here talking because my flight's delayed and we need some time to kill, I guess. So,
and the other reason why we're here?
Yeah. So we didn't just come for a vacation. We came for business. This was Chris Rood, who is a national real estate investor. Yep. He hosted a mastermind down here at his beach house. So what is a mastermind? It's basically getting in a room of big thinkers, high-level people, sharing business ideas, talking about, different business avenues that we weren't even aware of here. So
high-performing people.
Yep. So we were looking for something to help us in our business, whether it was going to be more business coaching or this type of mastermind level thing. And all of our friends back home said, you need to get in a room with high-level people.
Higher level,
so it was just perfect timing. I saw an advertisement on Facebook for Chris's thing down here, and it said, hey, that sounds exactly what we're looking for, and it's on the beach. So
yeah, not bad.
Come have some seafood and meet some new investors.
So Chris is kind of
badass, rock star.
He's a big deal. I didn't know who he was at all. You've been following him for a while, right?
Yeah, I pay attention to the social media stuff a little bit more, I guess. But
yeah,
Chris, he is not only a wholesaler and a flipper. He's been doing that stuff for a long time. He's been an entrepreneur his whole life since he was 22, I think he said. Ran some other businesses, and not to brag, but I think brag on him, but I think he said he was a millionaire before he got into real estate.
Yeah,
so he had some capital to get going, where a lot of people start out with nothing. But but Chris is now more focused on mobile home parks and land developments,
affordable housing, basically, right?
Affordable housing, and that's really stuff we weren't even thinking about. Maybe there's something way down the road that we could dive into. We're focused on building a rental portfolio of single family homes right now, and doing fix and flips on single families as well. Everybody here, though, they're talking about, land deals and apartment buildings and stuff like that.
Mobile home parks and just all kinds of crazy stuff.
So the mastermind effect, I like to call it, what we learned here is 80% of the investor's mindset is 80% of investing is mindset. Correct. It kind of follows that 80-20 Pareto principle, that life rule. And there were several speakers here today, but they all really came back to mindset.
Yeah, let's go over real quick with the speakers that were there and what they talked about.
Yeah,
touch on that for a second.
Chris Rood talked about everything we're talking about here, but he focused a lot on the mobile home parks and being a dynamic investor.
Yep.
We had Robert Sislow, who was one of Grant Cardone's main marketing guys.
Yep.
I think he said he started in Grant's team when there was 7 people, and when he left there was 150. So he really helped build the Cardone Capital.
So
brand.
he was on day one. This is
Yeah.
a 2-day thing. So he was on day one.
Yeah, he spoke both days.
He did. Yeah, he did. You're right.
So we had Robert,
Chris Nagel.
Chris Noggle.
Noggle. Thank you. Sorry.
He has been coined the #1 private money million. I don't know.
I hope he's not listening.
We'll find the link and drop it down there. Chris is a money expert
and
real estate investor, former pro snowboarder. He's a really cool guy.
Yeah, super cool guy. I had a actually show on HGTV too.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Coach Michael Burke.
Yeah, that guy. He was wild, wasn't he?
He was intense, man. Former basketball coach.
Won some championships.
He took a pretty much nothing women's basketball team and made them a national powerhouse over 10 years.
He talked about Prey Drive, which is pretty cool. And again, if you want to learn more about that kind of stuff, we'll link it into the description and stuff.
Who else? Adrian Nez, investor and really big marketing guy, talked about SEO and growing business online.
Yeah.
Who else do we have?
Will Morris.
Will Morris.
That was crazy stuff.
Kind of blew our mind learning about private equity funds.
Yeah.
And then Chris's wife was there. She got up there and talked to him too. They're a kind of a powerhouse, couple, and she's a real estate agent.
Chris Rood's wife. Yeah. Patty Rood. She was there. Big Mama
Rood.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Who are we forgetting, man? Anybody? I think
yes, we are. No, we're forgetting.
Evan Holiday.
Evan Holiday
talked about affordable housing development.
Yes.
Pretty big stuff there.
Yep.
Basically, you can get the government to fund all these big, huge $40 million, development deals.
Yep.
And he gets to stay in the deal at the end and collect the cash flow and make a bunch of money on the project development in the meantime.
Yep.
And I think that's basically it. Are we forgetting anybody?
I don't think so, man. I'm just we're cheating today. We have notes. I took a ton of notes over here.
But we really just wanted to capture everything we learned here at this event. And sorry for forgetting anybody if they're watching, but I think that was basically it. We crammed a lot into 2 days. Like I said, though, we really would talk today about everything we learned on mindset. And like I said, we came to this event and we wanted to level up. Yep. And a lot of what we talked about is expanding the bandwidth of your mind. So
yeah, correct. And I just want to say that the mindset was kind of like an overarching theme to all these speakers because there was people from, that were lower than us. They're not even doing any business in real estate right now. Right. To guys that are talking about, wasn't there somebody talking about buying a plane in this room? Yeah. I mean, so that kind of gives you the level.
Yeah. The next one he's going to be flying in on his private plane probably.
Yeah. So. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just the overarching thing that surrounds all of this is your mindset. We talked a lot about systems here, but you can't do a high level system with a low level mindset. So let's keep going, Brian.
Yeah. Basically I wrote down here, expanding your bandwidth will force you to grow. So we're on the bandwidth of our mind. We're right here talking about, single family deals and stuff and the BRRRR strategy. We talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
And that's kind of our lane. That's our focus right now. But we just expanded our bandwidth where, we know how to put together these big deals, these mobile home park deals and stuff like that. We know a guy that can come in and partner with it on us now. And it's huge stuff, man.
Switching from what we think is maybe way outside of what we do or impossible to possible.
Right.
It's switching that belief. It's switching also what's the fear of the unknown.
Right.
And all that.
Well, so we have like a 5-year vision for our business.
Right.
And we're still going to stick to that. We're not going to go home and tear it down, but people were kind of challenging us like, well, why do you think it's going to take 5 years? Why not do it in 1 or 2? Like,
it's like,
okay.
Right.
So, and then the other thing was the environment, getting yourself in the right environment. What did I write down the back? Get around big thinking people and play bigger.
Yep.
So everybody here is, like Jake said, some new people just starting out to doing these land development deals and getting a different room of people that are like-minded, but are talking about stuff we were not even aware of or thought was going to be the 20 years out from right now.
Yeah. I mean, so when I first got into real estate, as far as mind shift sets go, you know, the idea of making a 6-figure salary was something I've always wanted to do, but I was still kind of like, what?
Right.
But now it's just like these guys are saying, just add another 0 or 2. What's the difference? It's just another 0. It's just money.
Well,
it's like, holy crap.
You know, we came from pretty modest beginnings, you know, working kind of blue collar industry stuff. And to this real estate investing, to people like this, it's kind of a game. They're just playing with numbers.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a really good thing to touch on.
Like I think Will said, it's just Will Morris talking about the equity funds. It's like just playing chess with all these different pieces to put together the thing.
Yeah. But that's actually a very common phraseology that they use, all the speakers. It's a game, it's a game, it's a game, it's a game. And that's a mindset twist right there that you may not be used to.
So, I mean, while we're on the subject of thinking big, something Chris Rood and his wife Patty got up there and talked about was visualizing.
Yeah.
They've been doing this practice for years of kind of having a vision board for their family and manifesting those dreams. And I wrote this down. Visualizing your future, it's in your imagination.
Yep.
So if you're telling yourself that you can't do something, or you are not believing in yourself that it's possible, well, then it's not going to become possible.
Right.
But if you have a big, hairy, audacious goal and you know you have the intensity and the drive to get some stuff done, why should you tell yourself it's impossible?
Well, I think if you have the intensity and drive to get it done, a lot of people don't have that intensity and drive though, or because they don't believe they can get it done. So it's kind of this like two different conflicting viewpoints that they have in their head at the same exact time. I think the thing is just always keep that in there and then protect yourself from outside people trying to derail you.
Right. Don't let third-party influencers tear you down.
Yeah.
So third party could mean family or friends, or just haters, trolls on Twitter or Facebook, you know,
social media.
People are going to, you know, see what you're doing and trying to make a better life for yourself. And not everybody likes seeing successful people.
Yeah. I mean, so mindset,
hurt people.
Yeah. Real quick, Brian. So the term mindset, I think I'm right about this, it's a real psychological term, and there's a growth mindset and there's a fixed mindset. Okay. And one of the things that these two mindsets are at odds with one another. And a lot of times people with a fixed mindset will throw shade at people with a growth mindset because it flies in the face of what they know is real. And it honestly attacks their belief systems. So there's a lot of conflict that happens there. And everybody probably knows somebody that has a fixed mindset, or the majority of people that they know have a mixed mindset. And if you're trying to achieve this large, big, hairy, audacious goal, there's gonna be a lot of people that want to see you fail at that subconsciously.
So those third-party influencers will cause that negative self-talk, and you're going to start to believe them, or just start to, you know, tear yourself down.
Yeah.
So you have to remove those internal thoughts that prevent that external action to go after those big goals. Another thing, you know, what we kind of just touched on it there, that Coach Michael Burke talked about, was that pray drive.
Yeah.
Not pray like go to church, but pray like, you know,
like a dog chasing a rabbit.
A rabid dog or a ferocious lion.
Yeah.
The pray drive is the persistence and the intensity to go after these goals. And there's a lot of different everybody has a different factor that triggers their pray drive.
Yeah. He outlined 5 things, but said that there's more than that.
And I'm sure I wrote them down here, but one of them he talked about was being challenged. And you saw this in a high performance athlete like Michael Jordan. You just saw if you watch the documentary, The Last Dance, there were so many examples of this where he was challenged. People said he was not the best defender in the league, or he was not all that. And he would just, I'm going to come out here and prove you.
Yeah. He always had to prove.
I'm going to prove you wrong. He always wanted to prove people wrong. And being in the face of adversity, drove him to the next level.
Yep.
Enough about sport analogies and everything, but so on the subject of just thinking big, was the common theme of this whole weekend here. You know, why are we doing all this? Why do we want to have a business for ourselves?
Right.
So I see so many people that are slaves to their business. They don't have a life. So we're trying to design a business around what's highly enjoyable and highly profitable. One of the big things I noticed with Chris is, you know, he's a hustler. He's a serial entrepreneur. he's a grinder. And I used to have a kind of a negative, connotation about that where, well, I'm not the type of personality. I'm just going to grind it out for 100 hours a week just because I love work.
Right.
But he's operating at a high level in his business where he's the spearhead of his company.
Yes.
He's doing what he loves in the business and delegating everything else to people that he trusts that have built out a solid, small, nimble team.
Yep.
But he's doing so much. I would have thought he would have had a back office of like 50 to 100 people.
No, he does a large wholesaling operation, and he also he does the high level negotiations for the like mobile home parks and things like that he purchases, the land deals that he purchases. But he's only got like a staff of 3 people in his office, and then some other folks spread out here and there.
Right.
Guy's amazing.
The thing is, you see so many people that they can't delegate. They have to they're the technician. They have to do everything,
Yeah.
And some people never get over that. And it's maybe they can be successful enough, but they can never live a life where they are truly free,
Right. They feel like they have to control everything, dominate everything all the time. And they're just constantly like kids running from the ball in a soccer field and just chasing.
I wrote this quote down. I don't know if Chris said it or somebody else, but your business should serve your life, not run it.
A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've talked about pretty much everything here, but as far as thinking big, one of the things Chris talked about here coming up in the near future, we're going to see one of the biggest opportunities in history in the next 6 months.
What is that?
As far as the real estate investing world, some people are coining the term, there's going to be the next big reset. So we're in a 12-year cycle right now, or a 12-year run.
Of a up cycle. Oh,
right.
Yeah.
So over the past 75 years in the market, every 7 to 8 years, the market will take a dip.
Yep.
And it's usually a forced dip by the Federal Reserve. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now.
That's above our pay grade for
Right.
sure. But it's every 7 to 8 years, there's like a recession, something to set the money back a little bit. And so
everything that's going
that.
on with the COVID pandemic and the shutdown and everything, it's wreaking havoc on a lot of families, a lot of people. People have lost their jobs. They've been out of work all this time. They're either going to have to downsize or their house is going to get foreclosed on.
They can't pay rent. They can't pay their mortgage. Right. And that's where we come into play.
Tired landlords they had renters that weren't paying. They're going to have to get rid of that property. So when I say it's the biggest opportunity coming up here, and Chris talked about being a dynamic investor, you have to get on that level if you are going to be ready to serve all these people.
Right. Yes.
So but Chris kind of drew a triangle on the whiteboard of, down here you have so many people that never get out of this cycle of getting the deal, getting it sold, getting the deal, getting it sold. It's a stop and a start. But the top of the triangle is the capital piece.
Yeah. And that's how you start controlling your deal there.
So he's basically saying, I'm just focused on raising the capital right now to get ready for this.
Yeah.
Because if you're not highly capitalized, you're not going to be able to help these people out and bail them out of a jam.
Yeah.
And when I say, opportunity, I don't mean take advantage of people. We need to be ready to serve these people. And I'm talking about doing everything ethically. Obviously, you're not taking advantage of people, but as real estate investors, like, this is when you want the best time to buy is when the market's when you want to buy in the dip.
Yeah.
And there's probably gonna be a big dip coming here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're here to help,
So Chris talked a lot about, he's big into mobile home parks.
Why is he big into mobile home parks?
Well, the market's crazy. We've been at the top for so long, but there's not been enough new affordable housing. And there's such a constriction on that right now. So, you can't build a new construction home right now and sell it and be profitable for like less than $200,000.
Yeah, I think the cost to build right now is like $130,000 or something like that. Not $130,000, $130 per square foot to build.
Not including the land acquisition and if you got to bring in utilities. So unless you're a big, huge developer doing big subdivisions, you can't sell it for less than $200 and be profitable. So there's a huge need in the market for that affordable housing, which this is where the mobile home parks come in.
Right. And so also too, he's staying on the front of the wave. So basically there's a forbearance coming, right? And when those notes start to be, when the banks want you to start paying your note again, there's gonna be a lot of people that can't afford to pay it. So what's gonna happen is people are gonna start trickling down to more affordable and affordable homes. So at the bottom of that is mobile home parks for the most part and multifamily buildings. So he's just staying ahead of the wave. We learned a lot about that.
Right. So, I mean, if anybody's out there listening to this and they're new to real estate investing or wanting to get into it, you have to believe that you have the skills to wake up every day to solve somebody's problems. This is what we're here for. You know, like everything we just outlined there, there's going to be a lot of people with problems coming up here.
Yeah.
We've been grateful enough to not really be affected by it, but there's a lot of people struggling, man. And, you know, it is what it is.
We're definitely grateful to be in the position we are.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right. So man, we could talk for hours about everything we covered in this event here today. So what's the number one takeaway for you that we're going to be able to go home and start applying in our business?
So I was talking to this about some guys before and talked to you about it too. I think the number one takeaway for me, which will help our business, is just the mindset of just getting over that fear of putting myself out there in social media. I don't know if you guys can tell by just this recording, I'm not comfortable in front of a camera. I kind of trip over my words much more than I naturally do when I do that. And so I just got to put myself out there more and just get over that fear. Robert Sislow talked to Brian, which, you know, was really helpful when you told me this, but basically there's 3 reasons why people really, in his mind, people don't want to
because I asked him, why aren't more people promoting themselves
and
with
so,
social media?
And he said it's because number one, they're probably just afraid. Number 2, they're trying to hide something, or number 3, they're doing something unethical.
Yeah.
So it kind of, well, you got to get over your fear. You got to learn. You don't get over your fear. You learn how to live with your fear. And that's something that requires, I'm not trying to say I'm brave or courageous or anything by recording this, but.
Well, I was surprised to hear Chris Rood say that this still makes.
Oh, he doesn't like it. Yeah.
He hates it.
Yeah. He hates promoting it.
He understands the importance of it.
Actually, I should say, I don't want to speak for Chris. He might love it. But
he was joking around about when he first started really doing it.
It's not natural to him. And I actually had a couple conversations with Robert, you know, like, hey, dude, like, I'm not really good on Facebook Lives, for instance. And he was like, just keep doing it. You'll get better over time.
Yeah. As far as the marketing, branding and stuff, we're already kind of trying to put ourselves out in the universe more.
Yeah.
But like talking to Robert, he gave me a few pointers where I can go home and make a few tweaks and we can just get our message out to so many more people. So
yeah,
that was huge. For me, I think, you know, everything we learned about private equity and, you know, something I didn't think would ever be possible is to pool funds together to go out and take down a big package of deals. So, you know, it's just going home and having conversations with people already investing in our business or people we've talked about doing it with. We have a whole nother vehicle now.
Yeah.
You know, a whole better way. So,
yep.
I think number 3, lastly, is just, where was I going to go here?
That's okay. Hey, we were up.
We were up late. We ended the night with a bonfire on the beach. Had a few drinks and, I'm drinking coffee at 2:00 in the day.
2:30. No, we were just up. I was up to 2:30 in the morning, so I'm a little tired today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so number 3, I was going to say, we're really focused on, you know, going after the deals that are in our buy box, and we don't really do much outside of that. So, you know, why can't we just call up a list of mobile home park owners and see if they're ready to sell? Because we know a guy that we can partner with now.
Yep.
You know,
so one of the things I like to visualize here is that, you know, you have a road and you're going to a certain destination, right? And it's okay to kind of change lanes a little bit, you know, as long as you're going to the same destination. What we just did was, you know, you talked about bandwidth. We just broadened that road. We still want to go to the same destination, but now we have more ways of capitalizing on opportunity than we originally thought that we had.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's huge.
Huge stuff. I would just give the advice for anybody watching, like if you've ever thought about going to a mastermind, or I mean, it's more commonly like seminars type of stuff, but you know, the biggest objection is probably the price tag, or you think it's just going to be a sales fest. I
would say this: vet where you go.
Yeah.
Kind of look into it a little bit. I trusted Brian's judgment. He's the one that presented this one to me, but definitely look into each one, make sure they're credible people. I mean, Chris talked about ethics and morals right away, and I loved hearing it. And yes, there were speakers that were offering some, they're promoting themselves, but guess what? I wish,
yes, they have stuff to sell.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a hard sell, like do like a timeshare or anything like that. Like it was.
There's a room of 30 people. Yeah. Here's what I can do and help you guys. Come talk to me if you're interested.
But did you get value out of this?
Oh, the first 30 minutes we were there.
What did we spend?
$5,000 a head.
So $10,000 right here we just spent for this, and we were happy to spend that.
I mean, I thought day one was worth that price tag. And we got a couple dinners on the beach out of it, and
they're really good dinners.
But absolutely, I think he could have charged way more for this.
Probably, yeah, probably. I want to keep touching about mindset a little bit here. I feel like there's something we're missing, to be honest with you, buddy.
I think we touched on all my notes, man. So unless you got something else in your head,
I always have something in my head. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
what should I bring it?
Well, I think it's a good way to end it here then. If you guys are not subscribed to our channel already, please go down. If you like what you're hearing, just hit the subscribe button and the notification bell there.
Yep.
And we'll put these podcast videos out once a week, usually on Friday and Saturday. We'll be putting more content out though on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So like us on all those channels if you want to keep up with what we're doing. If you just want to reach out, talk about real estate, I'll leave our phone number in here. Reach out to Jake and I, or send us a Facebook message, whatever. So
yeah, we'll leave all of our contact information, how to find us on social media and all that stuff.
We should probably put links to everybody we talked about here, and you guys can go check them out too. So
we're gonna try to get somebody from the Mastermind onto the next episode. Here, we're still working on that. We had a couple people said that they would do it, but I think we were all kind of drunk at the time. So we're gonna work on that. So Will Morris was talking about maybe possibly doing it. I think Robert said he might do it.
We'll get somebody on before next week, and we'll figure it out. So, but hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Comment if you had questions about anything. Love to hear your feedback in the comments too. So,
all
right, see you back in St. Louis next time.
Bye everybody.
See ya.